Repeat after me and say, I am wealth. I am. Say it again. I am wealth. I am. One more time. I am wealth. I am. You'll catch it in a second. Wealth is not outside of you, it's already in you. And when you tap inside of the I am, the image that we already created in, you'll begin to realize it and learn about it and manifest that wealth. On January the 12th, 2013, I'm re-releasing in the form of a book and an encounter and a movement the economic ideals and principles of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. When Dr. King was assassinated on April the 4th, 1968, many of you know this because you were living then and you were a part of that movement or you watched from the sidelines, you realized that Dr. King had shifted from human and civil dignity to economic dignity. It was while he was in Memphis and he was assassinated and he was aligning himself with sanitation workers who were holding up signs saying, I am a man also, and because I am a man also, I want fair wages, I want access to capital, I want contracts, I want to be a vendor, I want to be a supplier. And so on January the 12th, 2013, we've strategically chose that day because it's the weekend before the inauguration of the second term of President Barack Obama. The Lord has afforded me the opportunity to travel the world through my experiences and through different investments and networking. And I'm a native of Atlanta. I grew up right here in Southwest Atlanta. We called it the Swats. I never could have imagined that I would be advising heads of state and sitting amongst billionaires and giving them strategies and working with people like Mark Burnett and Mel Gibson. And I could have never imagined, but it was something that I tapped into. And I want to pass that on to each and every one of you. So on January the 12th, I've called together over 100 experts, innovators, entrepreneurs, investors, not people who just talk about it and hype us up and not give us direction, but people who are doing it in this recession, people who have started companies. And I have people like Mark Wilson, who's here in Atlanta. He sold his call center for $70 million. Or Gregory Lycodopoulos, who left Egypt more than 40 years ago and came to Atlanta, who sold his company for $500 million. Many of these people, if they were sitting in here right now, because they're not on a reality show, or because they don't have a lot of Twitter followers, you wouldn't even know who they are. But these are the people that live amongst us that we have to connect with, we have to network, we have to ask questions, we have to take our business plans and put them in their hands and say, will you invest in my startup company? That's how wealth is transferred. When you are in position to talk to those investors, angel investors, venture capitalists, crowdfunding experts. And so what we will be doing is teaching you at the startup level, what industry should you be interested in, where you should be looking in the 21st century. How do you become an innovator? Then how do you start up? How do you structure up? How do you team up? Because it takes a team. You can't do it by yourself. How do you seed up? How do you get the seed capital necessary to launch your business? How do you crowd up? You're going to see a new phenomenon that's coming across America and around the world. And I believe our churches and our congregations on Sunday morning will have an entrepreneur who has a solid business plan that's been vetted by the bishop and his team. And we'll say, we need $50,000 to start this new bakery or this new tax service or your hair salon or your mobile app. And you will invest and own shares in those companies, and we will be able to fund the causes like the Power of One around the world, or we'll be able to fund the causes like what the countries are doing. The money, the wealth to fund these causes so we don't have to beg corporations to support what they really don't believe in. So on January the 12th, we're going to begin that morning. It's really intensive. We're not going to be playing. We're going to have our general session from 9 until 11 in the morning. and then we're gonna have our lunch, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna have 4 different boot camps running simultaneously, 26 different workshops running simultaneously for startup entrepreneurs. Or maybe you are a growth company, you're already in business, you're already doing $500,000 plus in revenue, but you need to go to the next level because you're frustrated and you're stuck. Or maybe you want to learn about investment. Because if I ask the question in the house, how many entrepreneurs, there are always more entrepreneurs, but then I say, how many investors? Many people don't associate themselves with being an investor. We are all investors in our future. And we have to do like other cultures do and invest in our own companies. And so we're going to show you how to avoid the pitfalls, how to write a business plan, how to write an executive summary, how to pitch somebody. When you're on an elevator, if you got 2 minutes to pitch Bishop or myself on your business idea, how do you do it? How do you make it happen? And we're providing all of that. The regular registration for this conference is $299, which is still a discount. I've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars over the last 10 years to go to conferences around the world just to be in the room with the other people who are spending that type of money, because that's how you network effectively. But what we're going to do for the kingdom, and I'm going to do 2 things. My goal is to put 1,000 plus people in the old Macy's building downtown. It's called 200 Peachtree Street now. They've revitalized that property. I want to put 1,000 plus people in there, and I want to put 500 children in there. And so for $99, we're discounting, we're taking $200 off. And for $99, you get to come to the conference all day. You'll also get an autographed copy of my 4th book that's coming out, Kingonomics, 12 innovative currencies for transforming your business and life, inspired by Dr. Martin Luther King. And your children, ages 11 to 18, can come for free also to what we're calling Sprout Up, so we can plant those seeds in their minds now to counter what popular culture is showing them how to be successful. It's a farce. And we'll show them how to be an entrepreneur, the value of $1, how to code, how to start a mobile app, all of that for $99. And college students, you can get in the house for $33. Now, Bishop, I learned whenever I want to activate something, I was sitting over there and you confirmed it. Anybody that knows me knew I grew up in a very, very prophetic ministry. I see some people who know my story here. When I was a teenager, I was sitting over there and I was saying, I don't want to just promote people to a job, but I want to promote people to becoming job creators. Not just a job, but to be a job creator. And then you call the men down here. We know men have it tough in this economy. I mean, real tough in this economy. If you don't have and you're being a person of color, if you don't have a criminal record, or you're despised, you're looked down upon, it's hard, it's tough. It's hard on a brother, even today. And so, Bishop, while you were standing there, you confirmed to me, and I have a big budget. I've talked to you about it. It's over $100,000, and I'm believing we're going to get there. If there are 100 men that are unemployed in New Birth, I want to give them a registration to come. Thank you. Thank you. I want you to come, and I want you to take it seriously, because what would cost some $300, $299, and some $99, but you just don't have it. You're in transition. You're looking for a job, and you've been looking for the last 2 or 3 years. If you come to the registration table, we're going to give you the registration form. You're going to fill it out. Only fill it out if you're going to come. And if there's a mother whose son was incarceration, he just got out, it's tough to get jobs, it's tough to get started when you come out of the prison industrial complex, which is a business itself. Just fill out the registration form and write promotion across the top. And my team is probably looking at me like, what'd you just do? But I believe that you have to be a giver. If you want to put yourself in a position to see the transference of wealth that is occurring, you've got to be a consummate giver. This man should never have any stress as it relates to a church mortgage or meeting the operating expenses of this house. The wealth is in this network and community of people to retire the debt of new birth. And as you unlock the investor, the entrepreneur, the inventor, the consultant, the author, in you, the resources have already been assigned to you. And because you are a steward in this house, I decree and declare that your economic war is over. If you believe that, give God some praise. Come on, praise him like the war is over. Praise him like the war is over.
Oh, come on, you can do better than that. Come on. You see how God moved that quick? Tell somebody, say, that's quick. He's going to be right outside at the kiosk or in the vestibule. Go out, register. Those of you who can, are working and can register, go ahead and do it. Those are the men who we offered. Please, God is moving and answering, and you need to have your sons, your daughters with you to train them up to move into things. I'm going to be mentioning this every week. We're going to come, and if nobody else, New Birth, we're going to take advantage of all of that and move forward. And we'll just go to different churches and pay their mortgages off. And oh, somebody, you got to be able to see that.